One fish, two fish, redfish, bluefish, blackfish, bluefish, old fish, bold fish, goldfish. All are red, but some are blue. Some are old and some are new. Some are big and some are small. And some of them I don't like at all. Some are sad and some are glad. And some are very, very bad. Why are they sad? Why are they glad? I'll tell you in a second after this ad. We'll start out small and have some fun, but they'll get bigger as this video's done. My first red fish, talking about the SERPAE TETRA. SERPAE TETRAs. I'm gonna go high level with you all on tetras. Love me some tetras. Tetras come from all over the Amazon. The Amazon River, for perspective, is about as large as the continental United States. So you get all kinds of different tetra variations from all kinds of rivers and streams throughout the U.S. SERPAE tetras, bringing you a little bit of red color. I like them because they're a little more full-bodied tetra. They got the little black spot on them. They're a prolific schooler. They school great together. They have a great temperament. They can handle a little bit of abuse from the beginners. And for this redfish tetra, we would have also accepted rummy nose tetras, cardinal tetras I'm giving to you because they got the full red line. And I'm going to mention the Von Rio tetra, even though it's an evil of a tetra. Red tetras. We're going a little bit bigger now. We're talking about red swordtails, platies, whatever. Totally inspired by my man, Mr. Robert Steinbach, with this footage here of how the redfish just popped for him in this massive tank. If you haven't kept live bears, you're missing it. They're fantastic fish. They're easy to keep, easy to sex, easy to breed. Just an awesome beginner fish. And yes, they're easy to breed. And because they're easy to breed, you can get all kinds of crazy strands like these awesome red sword tails. The more you breed them, the crazier, the little bit harder it is on their genetics, which is why the lyre tails and everything are not generally as healthy as the smaller, as the more plain Jane varieties. Redfish. Name me a red live bear that I'm missing, folks. Next redfish I'm talking about the BETTA fish. But don't BETTA fish come in different colors? Yes, BETTA fish come in different colors, but the best looking ones, in my humble opinion, are red and whatever. They're all awesome. Name a fish that you can keep in a small aquarium with a better personality than a BETTA fish. Please put a note in the comments of a fish with a better personality than a BETTA fish. I think it's going to be hard to find one. Love the personalities of a BETTA fish. Look, if you're just getting into the hobby, you can keep a BETTA fish in a nice, heavily planted 5-gallon, I got 5 on it, 5-gallon aquarium with just a bunch of plants and one singular BETTA fish. Love them. They greet you. They flare up. They're pretty hardy. The only thing that I will say with BETTA fish where I've gotten in trouble with them is when you keep them at a lower temperature, you get a little bit lower temperature. They don't like that too much. You want to keep them a little higher up. We're keeping BETTA fish out in the basins out here in Greenhouse 2.0 and now 3.0 because they do a nice job of eating the mosquito larvae. Red BETTA fish. How many times have I bought a BETTA fish that looked at me the wrong way when it was in a cup and looked sad? Many a time, folks. But here comes a curveball. How about Salty Dusty bringing you a saltwater fish? That's right, I'm talking about the arch-eyed hawkfish. Saltwater tanks generally cannot keep as many fish as you can in a freshwater tank. Arch-eyed hawk is perfect for this. Short, little, wide-bodied, tall, bright red fish. Sits and chills, has another great personality, hangs out on the rocks, hops around. Either they have like a really small swim bladder or no swim bladder, but their personality is just bomb. You see them kind of lurking in the shadows, but they're also around, hopping around, eating off live rock. Get yourself an arch-eyed hawkfish on this redfish species Sunday. We're rocking the redfish. We're getting bigger now. We're talking red rainbows. I got a 1-2 punch for you on this one, folks. We're going to start with rainbows. First of all rainbow fish. You just got to trust me. You just got to trust the pet store. You got to buy them and you got to give them some time to look a little bit better because they take a minute and they look like crap in a pet store. Get them home, feed them up, treat them right, hit them with a big water change, and rainbow fish will be looking all right in no time. 1-2 punch on the red rainbow fish. I'm talking about Irani red rainbow fish. This is one of those fish that you put in your aquarium and people walk up and are like, what is that one? Full-bodied red. The male reds are way prettier than the female fish. Rainbow fish, by the way, I keep it a 1 male to 1 female ratio because let's face it, gentlemen, you wouldn't dress up if chicks weren't around. Same thing with rainbows. They don't color up as well unless there's a lot of ladies in the place with style and grace. The other 2 punch in the rainbow fish is the Millennium Rainbow. I believe the Millennium Rainbow is actually a better looking fish than the Irani Red. However, it is a little more sensitive and a little more skittish too. Doesn't quite give you the personality out of the gate. It would be the last fish that you want to add. My boy Steve had these fish back in the day. Super cool. I've also got a bunch of videos with Gary Don't Carry. Speaking of rhyming, having a bunch of rainbow fish as well, other redfish as well. You want to check that video out. The link will be in the comments. Speaking of the redfish, I'm going to reference the great Street Fighter 2 twice in this video. Once now and once in the end. Remember Ryu, the guy who used to throw the fireballs to go Hadouken? We're talking RYUKIN. Yeah, that's right. RYUKINs used to keep RYUKIN goldfish. Oh my goodness, right? Gonna be a creepy old man someday and have a bunch of planet tanks with red RYUKINs in them. They have the super fat bodied RYUKINs that are kind of disgusting to me, but ones with a little bit longer faces like this super old school player to new school full video I did back in the day when I kept this RYUKIN and I bred this RYUKIN. Now, with fancy goldfish, generally speaking, the fancier you get, the a little bit harder they are to keep. It just makes sense. They're shorter bodied, intestinal problems, that sort of thing. When you feed goldfish, you want to feed them a heavy content of veggies. They're like cows. They're just pecking around, eating. Love me some red RYUKINs. I would love to know from you, if any of you all are keeping red RYUKINs, where do I get red RYUKINs? Oh, I love me some red RYUKINs. And speaking of goldfish, shout outs to Solid Gold, the old school YouTuber, for making a super transparent video a while back about what was going on with her and her YouTube channel. You're going to check that out. That link's going to be in the comments as well. Goldfish, baby. Oh, red. Now we're getting crazy. Red-bellied piranhas. Look, as a kid, I fed them mice. But now I think that's not so nice. When you think of piranhas, think twice. Piranhas suck, folks. How many videos can I make about piranhas sucking? This is like the 8th video. Here's why. Look. As a 15-year-old kid, throwing a live mouse into a 55-gallon aquarium and watching 6 piranhas tear it apart with a little bit of cloud of blood and a little bit of fur, and that's it, was cool. That's the only cool thing piranhas do. Piranhas, not fun to keep, not fun to look at. You go and you look at them in your aquarium and they're skittish, they hurt themselves, they're just rambunctious, they fly all over the place. I actually used to have like cuts on their eyes because I'd come by them and they'd swim behind my undergraduate filter. Talk about old school. They'd hurt themselves. Yes, if you jump into the Amazon River with a giant half of your arm severed like Monty Python splurting blood, you might get eaten by piranhas. That's about the only way it's going to happen. I do not recommend these fish. They're illegal in a couple states, and I don't know why, because they will not survive the winters. However, it's a good thing because they're a garbage fish. There's so many better fish to get than piranhas, folks. Promise me you won't get piranhas. If you see them at the zoo, take a good look at them and enjoy them because they do have a cool sparkle to them. You can see their teeth. They're kind of red and they're in this video. Piranhas suck. Don't try it. Now on to a fish that rhymes with piranha and is also rhyming with illegal substance in several states. But now a fish that's red and regal, but in my country it's illegal. It rhymes with a plant that's illegal too, but today we're keeping it PG for you. We're talking about the Asian arowana. Asian arowana, also called a dragonfish. Dragons are heavy in Chinese culture. Asian arowana resembles a dragon with its pectoral fins out flying in full flight. Oh my goodness. Folks, oh my goodness, this fish comes from Southeast Asia, rivers and lakes in Western Indonesia, Borneo area. My goodness, folks. Illegal in the United States. However, this fish is being bred in captivity. The Asian arowana is being bred in captivity and has been bred in captivity for quite a while. Keeping an Asian arowana in Asian cultures is a symbol of prosperity. This fish is also allegedly bringing you good luck. And here's the downside for this fish. In cultures, apparently, when the Asian arowana jumps out, it's dying to protect its owner from either death or bad business deals. You hear that, Joey? Asian arowana, oh my goodness, I've heard this fish has been sold for 300 grand. Don't act like you haven't thought about keeping a red Asian arowana despite the fact that they get 3 feet long. How cool would it be if I was a bachelor to have one right over there 8-foot long tank, 30 inches tall, just boom, swimming back and forth, and a tiny little bit of giant val and a bunch of little dwarf sedge along the bottom. Yeah, Asian arowana, folks. Leave me a comment on your thoughts on keeping the famosa with the mosta Asian arowana. But I got one more. But wait, one more, we're almost done. This last redfish is tons of fun. I saw one once down in Peru, the mecca of redfish for you. When in Peru, try the ceviche and ask the locals about paiche. ARAPAIMA gigas, folks. In Peru, they call it paiche. In Brazil, they call it peruku. How do I know about it in Brazil? Ever play Street Fighter 2 Blanca stage? Press down and B real fast. The green dude gets electric. Yeah, there's a paiche hanging in the back of that video game back when I was 12, talking about one of the largest freshwater fish in the world. ARAPAIMA gigas phone. Glacio something means bony tongue fish. Related to arowana. Smokes the arowana because this fish is one of the biggest, baddest fish on the block. What does RYUKIN rap about? Talking about the fish scale. Look at the scales on this fish, all right? You can go to an aquarium and see this. You can see this footage here. This fish has me at hello. Gets bigger than two of me combined. Like, amazing fish. Slow ambush predator creeps upon you and pow! Gaps you out of there. They've also got like the ability to breathe. I forget what the exact term, but they can breathe oxygen like out of the air. Same with arowanas, by the way, because they're in the same family. Love me this fish. Two things that suck about the ARAPAIMA gigas. One, it's being overfished in the wild, and it's actually been illegal to catch this fish in Brazil, but Brazilians generally don't lack a moral compass when it comes to nature, so who knows how many of these are being pulled out of the wild. And two, our friends at Whole Foods are actually trying to breed this fish in captivity as an alternative to Chilean sea bass. And in a rare twist of karma, there's a lake in Malaysia called Lake Kira, and apparently there's a Lake Kira monster, also known as the dragonfish, where ARAPAIMA gigas were being raised and then got loose. They're in this lake and they're huge. And allegedly, ARAPAIMA gigas are responsible for the drowning of 2 individuals in 2009. Yes, folks, ARAPAIMA gigas is the ultimate redfish. It could drown you.